First job of the year. Let's see what we can turn this one into. It's not a very big one. It's only about like 500 square feet. Just an existing red oak floor. Nothing too fancy. It's definitely got some gaps. Definitely got some age to it. Some highs and lows and everything else along with that. And it's turned pretty orange over the years. But we're going to try to get this thing sanded back flat, which you can see there, all the existing dish out from between the hard grain and the soft grain from whoever sanded it years ago. That is the main reason why we always run steel plates on the power drive. It holds that paper completely flat. And that is why you want to try to keep that paper completely flat. So that way it doesn't dig down more into the soft grain and less on the hard grain. Then you kind of get that ripple effect across the floor. We want to eliminate that. We want to get that tabletop quality finish when we are done. And some of the areas on this floor was cupped, and then like over here in this section it was crowned, so it definitely got extremely wet at one point, and then it dried back out, and then the center came up. So there's a difference between cupping and crowning and buckling. I mean, there's so many different terms for whatever the wood could be doing or has done. And me and Mom, we're going to sand this with nothing but the power drive. It's kind of aggravating when we get into these smaller jobs. We don't have but so much room. Like, I've already edged around the entire job once, but I can't do the last pass on the edger until I get the power drive done to a certain point, which I like to get it done up to 80 grit, and then I'll make my 100 grit pass on the edger, and then Mom will make the 100 grit pass on the power drive behind me. And other things while I'm waiting on her, I finally got a new cord for my 10-meter long hose that hooks up into all my Festool equipment, because the end of it actually started melting and then fried a couple of my tools, and I had to get them rebuilt. Not a big deal. It's wear and tear. Things happen over the years, and I've had it for quite a while, so tool maintenance, part of the job. And I hate sanding around toolets, so if you have hardwoods in your home and I got to come in there and sand around toolets and we don't pull it or do anything like that, I do charge more per toilet. Pedestal sink, it's additional work, it's a pain. Also, not really the cleanliest thing to be doing, but it is what it is, you know. Just, it's always aggravating sanding around and things because the edger usually don't fit in there. But like a Festool, you know, orbital sanders like the RO150, 125s, any of those will fit back in there pretty good, which is how I usually clean up the rest of it that I can't get. And then we'll finish edging, cut all the corners. Then I'm going to finish up with a Festool orbital around the walls. This is the RO150, 6-inch. I just think it's easier to use with 100 grit mesh. And here's existing gaps in the floor. And see that section right there? That's existing putty. It's there. Where's the rest of it? It's gone. This is why we do not fill existing floors. They will expand and contract in our area. Sometimes it can be pretty drastic. So whatever we put in there, guess what? It's going to do the same thing. I could fill them now. In the summertime when this floor expands back, it's going to push it and break it and come up out of the floor. Now there is a product, Berger makes it. You can mix in. It's almost like glue going on the floor. It'll go in and stay, but you can have problems with that. What do you think happens when that floor expands back in the summertime? Putty's not going to come out because it's like glued in the floor now. It's going to start actually crowning and buckling the boards. So it's kind of a win-lose with that product on certain applications. I would not do it in a place like this. Anybody out there working out two-wheel drive vans? It sucks. So this is me back home. I had to drag it up a driveway and it can sit there for the night. Can't even get it clean. It's like a solid sheet of ice. It sucks. So we got the first coat on in one day. Coming back the second day, I'd washed that T-bar out at my house and had it in the basement so it wouldn't freeze. Stuck it in the van. It's about a 45-minute drive to this job from where I live. The T-bar was frozen in the van. I had to put it over there just so it could heat up and thaw out. And that right there is why you want to put plastic up over windows and doors. They could be shining through, kind of like a magnifying glass if you burnt ants when you were a kid. It's the same concept. It'll heat that floor up so much and you can flash dry the finish, and it can dry way too fast and you can have problems. I didn't put plastic up for the second coat because it was cloudy and I thought it was going to stay cloudy. But before I do the final coat, I prefer honestly to use black plastic and cover it all, stop all the light, everything coming through. That's all I had in the van was the clear. But that'll stop enough of the heat coming through so the finish can dry properly. And I'll be damned if I didn't have one small piece break and come out of the floor right when we were doing our final pass. I'm not doing a board placement or anything like that. I'll wait till right before we do the final coat. I'm going to use a Rangate, the glue system, just like a hot glue gun, different colored sticks. Fill that in. I mean, this floor's got a lot of movement, so there's no guarantee that there's not going to be other stuff break later down the road. That has nothing to do with me. It's just the normal wear and tear and usage of this floor. So it's an older floor. It's not like it's brand new, so I'm sure it wasn't installed as good as what we do now. And I didn't install it, obviously, but I'm saying whoever did. But after we abrade the floor, vacuum up, tack it, put the last coat down, what do we got? you know, another tabletop quality job. So we put Loba Easy Prime on this one and Loba Duo 2K Satin Sheen. That's a 2-component finish. There it is, all done before and after. As you can see kind of how orange it turned and what it is now, back to a natural level. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.